What is going on, guys? It's your boy HD60S back here with another video. Today, as you can see by the title of this video, I will be going over Henry the Red at max level 25 and to show you his stats and his damage potential at level 25. As you can see my skill list here, these are all the skills that I chose. Obviously, with any character in this game, you can really customize it to suit your own playstyle. And I built this skill list based off of my own personal playstyle of how I like to play. So you guys are more than willing to use this same skill set or even build off of this to make something even better. But with this video, I do hope you guys enjoy it. Enough talking. I'm gonna go ahead and skip, and we can go ahead and get this thing going so you guys can see just how powerful this character is.
Boom, it looks like we have Henrietta. So, one thing I like about Henry is that Henry, for one, he's definitely one of the, I would say, the top 3 strongest characters in the game. His ability, for the simple fact that his ability allows him to be immune to any damage for a very short period of time, I feel gives Henry an edge, especially when you're in situations where you're fighting the boss one-on-one, or those really clutch situations where you have to pick up your teammate and all your teammates are down. I've made some really clutch plays with Henry's ability. Henry, I put him as A-list, A-tier list character compared to some other characters in the game. Henry's definitely amongst my top favorite 3 as of right now. He just, the damage he can take with the damage he can ditch out is very substantial, and that's beneficial again because really I would say, and when you're doing these, when you're playing player versus survivor, you really want to make sure that you have really strong characters who can ditch out a lot of damage, because it's pointless, with any game honestly, to have low damage input output versus the amount of damage that's being inputted by the boss. So it's definitely good to have a really balanced character. With Henry, you really want to maximize everything towards damage, being that he's a attack type anyways, where you want to allocate your skills to damage. Additionally, not just that, but some people like to have a balanced approach, and that's okay. Certain games and certain characters can have that balanced approach, but when you're talking about a character like Henry, having that balanced approach is very useless in my opinion, for the simple fact you're limiting your character a lot honestly by doing that. So it's definitely better to maximize your damage output and stick strictly to the damage skills. Additionally, not only just that, but when you play as Henry, you would notice a lot more blunt weapons spawns, and that's with any character, honestly. And depending on your character, would dictate what kind of weapons you would see spawn around the map. Like Henry is mostly a blunt type, so you would see like a lot of bats, things that does a lot of blunt damage. So it was very important to me to put my skill points into blunt damage. Blunt damage, I have some in dismemberment, but it's not really important for this character. So a lot of blunt damage and balance. Balance is key, and blunt damage is key when you're playing with Henry. So definitely maximize your skill points to that when you play. And always, my recommendation is always also to pick up any amulets that you see or simp colas. Do some looting. You don't have to do a lot of looting, just something, just so you can have something in your arsenal. Even if it's just one, it's definitely that one can save you when you're in that tight situation where you don't have much room. You're being attacked by the boss. You're being attacked by the enemies, the units. So it's definitely important just to have an amulet or some simp colas at hand. Obviously, the stores provide you the most amulets and simp colas, or any store that you find will provide a lot. So it's definitely worth going to. And also, as you can see, this chest is here, just sitting out here in the middle of nowhere. Just be very cautious of that. Sometimes, I feel honestly, a lot of the times, these chests are setup chests. So, the chests that the enemy spawns, especially Henrietta, I feel people who play Henrietta definitely use that skill a lot more than the other demons. But still, get the chest. I mean, you want to get as many pink Fs as you can early on, as quickly as possible, while trying to maintain that demon level. As you see, my demon level right now is 5. So, and we are one map found, and we just found a second map. Well, I just found a second map. So, you know, you want to travel as quickly as around a map. Don't stay in too many areas for too long. And it's very important that you, honestly, I would say split up, but not everybody is very comfortable splitting up. It's really just contingent on your character. Henry's the type of character that can sustain himself by himself without any help from any other character, just because he could take a lot of damage and again ditch out a lot of damage. Now, as you saw with my ability points from the pink Fs, I like to maximize melee first. Again, damage is keen when you're playing with a warrior type character. And then from damage, I like to go stamina. And then stamina, I either like to do with Henry. Now, I like to either do fear or health. Henry's maximized for health and damage. So, based off of that, I like to, again, put damage, my abilities in damage, and then stamina, and then health. And then from there, I might do range and or was just really just depending. Either range or amulets. I feel amulets aren't they're usable, but not for this character. Not for this character, I feel. So again, but it's all personal preference. So you choose what you feel will be best for you based off of your own playstyle. Now, sometimes when I use Henry, I like to do a single bullet shot, and then I like to follow up with a melee attack. I like to use my weapon, my gun, as a much more as a stun. Because when you shoot the enemy, the enemy's gonna be stunned, and I like to follow up with an attack. It's really just depending on your own playstyle again. But I feel like doing that gives me a little bit of time. Henry isn't the quickest, but he's definitely, I would say definitely not slow. Definitely not slow. He's like really in between. And I mean, he's perfect. I mean, the character is perfect. He's a really strong character, in my opinion. I do wish his ability, even with the reduction points, the skill points that you can put your skill points into, the reduction isn't. It's really just cutting it off by a couple seconds. But then again, a couple seconds can save your life when you're in a predicament where you're fighting the boss and his units. So definitely, I mean, it's up to you. I think I put at least one skill point into it. I may be wrong, but I believe I put at least one skill point into making sure that I have some of that cooldown reduction on. I mean, you really can't go wrong with that, though. and there's an example of a shooting first and then attacking that right after. That's an example. Also, too, guys, make sure you're doing your finishers. You do your finishers because, for one, it increases the probability of any simp colas or any amulets dropping, ammo, anything in general. So definitely make sure you're using that finishers as quickly as possible. And also, I mean, it gives you a little bit of break too. So if you're in those tight situations, doing those finishers can really help you. For the simple fact that when you do those finishers, you can't be attacked. So it saves you a couple of seconds. So it's definitely beneficial to always make sure you're using finishers. And also, it gives you additional XP. Once you finish the match, you will see that just how much XP. It's not a lot. But you know, with this game, every X ounce of XP counts. Because this game is kind of grindy. Not the grindiest game I have played, but they definitely intended for you to stay playing this game for some time. So definitely want to make sure you're maximizing as much experience as possible. So use those finishers. I know they may take a little bit longer. I know it's a lot easier for me to hit them one time and they're dead. But you really want to maximize that XP. Unless all your characters are maxed out, kudos to you. Definitely, it's a lot of grinding to get there. A couple hours for sure. A couple days. So, you know, it's all up to you.
With the final piece of the map in your possession, only the demon stands between you and the necessary ritual items. The lost pages of the Necronomicon and Kandarian dagger. Your team has awakened the lost pages, striking terror into the black heart of evil. Expect resistance.
Now with Henry, I like to save my shields for times where I'm fighting any possessed units, regardless if it's a boss or not. As you know, possessed units, they do crazy damage. I mean, especially the bigger elite units like this one here, they do a lot of damage. So that's when I really like to save my shield, my ability for those times. Even though, as you can see, the elite didn't really do too much damage with me. Easiest way to get an elite down is by doing heavy attacks. Do as many heavy attacks as you can, because the white bar is their stun bar. Once that stun bar reaches 0, it keeps them stunned. And so then that's where you can start doing your light attacks, so keep following up with your heavy attacks, just whatever you want to do. For me, I like to do my heavy attacks first, ditch them out, because with my current Henry build, I do around 500 damage per heavy hit. So, and again, that's contingent on the weapon I have in my hand at this time, but around 500 damage, 400 to 500 damage each heavy hit, and then a normal attack for me, a light attack, is between 277 to 330. So it's definitely, when you're fighting those elite, those possessed units, always use heavy attacks. Quicker the shield goes down, it allows you some time just to get your little breath here, pop your Simcolas, amulet, or whatever you need to do, and then you can continue to fight an enemy. For me, I like to just go straight to it, kill him, kill him, kill him, putting all my force into it, because the quicker you get him out, the pretty much the more life you save for yourself. Honestly, with high damage characters, I would like to point this out. With high damage characters, you definitely want to keep your fear as low as possible. There's have been multiple times where I'm playing as Henry, and I'm playing in a lobby such as this, and I am getting possessed, and I have wiped out the team plenty of times because my Henry does quite a bit of damage, and it's easy for him to wipe him out, especially with the possessed units receiving a small buff to their damage. So it's imperative that you try to keep a consideration of your fear level when using these damage-based characters. Also, riding in the vehicle is extremely important as well. Most people like to go on foot, and that's okay. As you can see, I've been going on foot pretty much the entire match. But you really want to, and I try to, ride in the vehicle as much as possible. For one, it's saving your resources just in case you do get hit, which the probability of you getting hit is pretty high. And then two, it saves you just in case the boss is targeting you specifically. As you see that I was targeted quite a bit throughout this match. And then also, it saves you time. The demon level, you want to keep it as low as possible. As you can see, our demon level is 15, and we're already on the 3rd phase, which is fantastic. That's where you want to keep the demon levels below 20 by the time you get to the 3rd phase. So it's definitely make sure you are pushing on it and working to find those map pieces ASAP.
now commence closing the breach unless it is destroyed by the demon. Protect it.
Once you made it this far, I would like to consider this a wrap, honestly. Once you get to this last phase here, and you're really just defending, and it's super easy to defend. Again, just making sure you keep with that strategy. Never let up your strategy as you get through this. Even though if you feel super confident, all it takes is that one mess up that can cost your whole team. Because no matter what level the demon is at, the possessed units are still gonna be strong. And depending on the type of character you are playing with, you always want to keep that in consideration. But with Henry the Red, you won't really have much issues. But what I have seen with people that use Henry the Red, they aren't really sure of the playstyle for this character, or how to play the skill points, and etc. So really, you want to keep that same strategy throughout the entire match. You can take the tips that I've said throughout the video to figure out exactly find a strategy that fits you. Find that strategy that fits you. This fits me, and so I'm gonna always stick to that strategy, regardless if the demon is at level 1 or the demon is at level 30 plus. Always gonna keep the same strategy, because strategy is what wins. And there we go. Super easy. Easy peasy. Didn't die once, didn't get down. As you can see, I was targeted again throughout the entire match. But yeah, I mean, easy win. And as you can see, exactly my stats. You probably have to pause it, but you'll see my stats: 35 basic units killed, elite units killed 3, damage dealt 31,000 compared to everybody else's 12,000, 11,000, and 6,000. So you can just see the damage difference between the characters, with me having my max level 25 Henry. Now the damage potential is even greater, but for what I had in this match, you can see how much damage was dealt out. But that's the end of the video, guys. I really hope you guys enjoy the video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you.